I'm gonna share my thoughts on the BTS going to a Chris Brown concert situation, and it's gonna be controversial simply because I've argued with two different people in a comment section of the same video of two different comments, and they both are disagreeing with me. My thoughts are also very different and opposite to many K-pop stans and what people are generally agreeing on, which is why I say my take on this situation is controversial. I'm not here to defend BTS because I frankly couldn't give a rat's ass about them, and if you're one of the 420 people subscribed to my channel actually keeping up with my content, then you know my content style and you know I'm not a fan of BTS and I don't promote them, apart from some videos in the past including their music. So please don't think I'm here to defend them. I'm here to say a nuanced take, and so let's get into it. So for those who don't know yet, BTS went to a Chris Brown concert. I'm not sure how many members went, but they did at the end of the day, and I hate that they did it, and they definitely deserve the backlash, but I don't understand why does it only have to be BTS to deserve the backlash for this, and why do we call it the BTS x Chris Brown situation, as if BTS were the only ones attending the concert. There were many other people attending his concert as well, but just because BTS are rich and famous and influential that we have to cancel them. I get that the other concert goers aren't popular people and are unknown and that we don't have to super sleuth find everyone, but why is it that they're not brought up in the conversation as well, and they seem to be, in my opinion, getting a pass for their attendance at the Chris Brown concert simply because BTS attended the concert as well, and so all the attention is on BTS. I hate that it only seems controversial because BTS did it, but for the other people it comes back as they're unknown, which is true, but do you hold the same level of accountability for everyone else in attendance? It's not just BTS. Everyone who has attended Chris Brown concerts and continue to do so, even at this very concert that BTS attended, are bad period. Imagine if BTS were a Nugu group without the same level of success that they have now, and they attended the Chris Brown concert. Would you care then? Would it still be accountability, or do you just cancel controversial acts once the person is famous enough to have a name, so their controversial acts are finally seen as controversial? If you see some random person with a public Instagram account who is a nobody regular person having 500 followers max posting about going to a Chris Brown concert, would you call it out if you stumbled upon a post where they posted about going to the concert? Would you repost and want to get their post attention because you care about accountability for all? Because Chris Brown is a terrible person regardless, and it shouldn't matter if the person is famous or not, they all willingly went to Chris Brown's concert. I'm just asking because it's not an accountability conversation if only BTS is the main conversation. I've always had the belief on why so famous people get cancelled for something that non-celebs would barely get the same cancellation for if they do the same controversial thing, and so I'm not here to just hate what BTS did. It's not like anything happens with calling BTS apart from them facing a lot of backlash that they apologize, because Chris Brown will still have people going to his concerts, and also if we're calling BTS out now for this, but for any future Chris Brown concerts we don't bring up the conversation again to talk about concert goers in general, then what accountability did we want for going to the concert to begin with? Are we caring actually that BTS went to his concert willingly when if BTS never went to the concert, would you be talking about going to the concert still? I want to know if BTS are the reason you're talking about accountability, or have you as a person been mentioning it before and BTS are just more people added to the conversation of attending the concert? I know that there must be people talking about going to a controversial artist's concert and maybe I'm not seeing it, I haven't researched enough or it hasn't popped up on my algorithm and I should do more to find it, because I want to know genuinely if there's a conversation about it. If anyone can send me video links, by all means do so, but I haven't seen it yet, despite many things popping up for me to watch even if I'm not interested in said thing. In the end, BTS should get called out and should be held accountable, but only because they were another who went to the concert and not because they're famous so they get singled out as if they're the only ones doing wrong. It's a Chris Brown concert, and anyone who goes to it is in the wrong, full stop. And more to add to this, that Chris Brown never did a private show for BTS. It was one of his many concerts made for his fans and BTS attended it. If we only want accountability from BTS, then we're never gonna fix the root of the issue, and people will continue going to Chris Brown concerts and we will only have been people who cared about Chris Brown being an abuser, because of BTS attending his shows and them being famous attending his shows, and not because of the thousands of people who've gone to Chris Brown's shows, even so before the Chris Brown concert BTS went to, and the thousands of people continuing to do so. Will calling out only BTS help put an end to the fact that people still attend Chris Brown concerts regardless, and BTS are just two people, which I later found out was only two members, who attended the concert amongst many others continuing to fund Chris Brown's concerts willingly? Will holding two people from BTS out of the thousands who go to a Chris Brown concert change anything if Chris Brown himself will still have fans even after people wanting to hold BTS accountable? At the end of the day, y'all are just targeting BTS for their controversial actions, which doesn't attack the problem of Chris Brown still going on strong and still having loyal fans enough to hold concerts happily because people are willingly paying to see him. Y'all wanting to only hold BTS accountable affects BTS but doesn't do jack shit about the issue of people still enjoying Chris Brown regardless. The issue itself is going to Chris Brown's concert even still in 2026, and not that BTS went to his concert and they're famous and so they need to be held accountable. If the problem is genuinely BTS attending the concert and therefore supporting Chris Brown, then we should address the main issue at hand. Why does Chris Brown still have fans to begin with even after his abusive actions? Why are people still going to his concerts? We should be looking at the bigger picture because again nothing happens in the end apart from BTS's downfall, and then what? Will y'all stop talking about Chris Brown concerts because y'all only cared about accountability with BTS and not anyone else? Will y'all never care about Chris Brown concerts again until someone else famous attends one of his concerts and so the conversation is brought up again? Nothing to me at this very moment is giving me a valid reason why BTS are singled out, and that it's showing me that a lot of y'all are performative for only wanting accountability from BTS. BTS's fame shouldn't be the main reason that y'all want accountability, but rather it should be them attending the Chris Brown concert regardless even if they were not famous. The action should be at the forefront and not the status, because wanting true accountability comes from what the person does, and whether it's BTS with millions of followers on Instagram or someone named Jane with 300 followers, just a fake example and name, on Instagram. Both of them at the end of the day did wrong by going to Chris Brown's concert. If we only want to single out BTS and only want them to be held accountable because they're famous, then more people like Jane will continue to go to Chris Brown's concerts and support him, leading Chris Brown to continue doing what he does because we only ever cared about the one time BTS attended his concert being famous, and never care about the many still continuing to attend Chris Brown concerts, which included the many shows people attended before BTS ever went to this one. If BTS is in the wrong for going to his concerts and you stand by it, then you can apply the same energy to everyone else in the crowd. BTS don't get special hatred and accountability since it doesn't work like that and it shouldn't work like that. It's genuinely baffling how y'all are so fixated on the fact that BTS attended the concert, and I understand completely to this, as per what a commenter made me see about it, that BTS may get Chris Brown new listeners because of their famous status, which yes that could happen, but also some random person who is a nobody who attended the Chris Brown concert as well could also be getting some of their friends who've never heard of Chris Brown before, hooked onto Chris Brown, and they may also attend his future concerts. Sure, it may not be as big as BTS potentially making more fans for Chris Brown, but whatever reasons y'all have, that y'all apply, apart from BTS having a massive following, to wanna hold BTS accountable can be applied to a person who isn't famous as well. In the end, BTS suck for going to that concert, but also Jane with 300 followers sucks too, again just a fake name I made up for an example. I believe in accountability to be held for anyone who attends a Chris Brown concert willingly with their own money to wanna fund that piece of trash when there are literally any other musician you can support instead, and if it's controversial to wanna have the same energy for everyone, not divided by how famous or non-famous they are, then IDK what to say anymore.
Shining through the night, baby.